Hello fellow collectors! Today's video is going to be different from the previous ones. Instead of looking at the history of a whole denomination, we are going to take a look at the historical meaning and symbolism of a single coin. This coin to be precise. To learn who this is and what this coin commemorates, stay tuned. Before we go into the symbolism and meaning of the coin, let's look at its specification. This is a silver denarius, the base silver coin of the Roman Empire. Signed that the empire was not well at the time, this piece is almost half the size of the original denarius and is only 40% silver. The trend of lowering coinage silver content that would plague the empire was well underway. Now that we know the basics, let's find out what this coin can tell us. First of all, you must be asking yourself what this is. This is a tropaion, from which we derive our modern trophies. Those first appeared in Greece and were erected at the site of turning points in a battle, named trope in Greek. They consisted of a kind of scarecrow made from the weapons and equipment of the fallen. Those were mounted on a stick. On this one, for example, we can see armor, helmet, and spears. Tropaions were widely used in Roman coinage to represent military victory, and it is believed they may have been featured in triumphs alongside the victorious armies and their spoils. At the base of the tropaion, we see another common Roman symbol, the captives, who represent the defeated. Here we can see legs, body, arms, head, legs, body, arm, head. Now, if we want to know what exactly this tropaion and those captives mean, we must read the legend of the coin. On the reverse, we can read part max, pont, TRP4. This bundle of abbreviation is typical of Roman coin, and before we go further, we must decode them. The first one we can, with experience, easily crack is TRP4. TRP being an abbreviation used by most emperors, meaning Tribunicia Potestas, or with the power of a tribune of the plebs. This power was granted to individuals at their ascension to the imperial throne. The event commemorated thus happened 4 years after the individual on the obverse became Caesar or Augustus. Pont stands for Pontifex, which is a common title for Roman emperors, but normally a sole emperor or a dominant of a few co-emperors would be marked PM for Pontifex Maximus. Thus, this was probably a junior co-emperor. Finally, for the reverse, Part Max stands for Parthicus Maximus, a title which would be given to a general for a great victory against the Parthian Empire, a Mesopotamian state including modern Iran, part of Turkey, and other neighboring territories. We can then guess this coin commemorates such a victory. Now, whose victory? We now turn the coin and observe the legend. We can read Antoninus Pius AUG. There, you could be justified in thinking the portrait is of the Emperor Antoninus Pius, who reigned from 138 to 161. But this cannot be him, for he became Augustus, or AUG, when he was 52, and this face is not the one of a 56 years old man. But with what we learned from the reverse, we can deduce this young man's identity. The only Antoninus Pius who was young when named Augustus and became Parthicus Maximus 4 years onto his reign is Caracalla. He was born in 188 in Lugdunum, now Lyon in modern-day France, from Septimius Severus and Julia Domna, under the name Lucius Septimius Bassianus. When he was 7 years old, his father changed his name to Marcus Aurelius Antoninus to try and tie the Severan dynasty to previous imperial families, nominally those of Antoninus Pius and Marcus Aurelius. His official name thus became Antoninus, but he would soon add Pius to that name. He was nicknamed Caracalla in reference to a type of gold clothing he popularized in Rome and wore often. Simultaneously as the change of official name in 196, he was made Caesar. 2 years later, he was made co-emperor with his father. In 198, he gained the title Parthicus Maximus after his co-emperor won a string of ultimately fruitless victories against the Parthians. This coin celebrates those victories, served to familiarize the people of the empire to the successor of Septimius Severus, and to portray him as a victorious general not to be messed with. The coin was most probably minted around 201. Caracalla is now widely known for his cruelty. In 211, he had his brother and co-emperor Geta assassinated in his mother's arm in order to become sole Augustus. His reign is marked by quite a few bloodbaths and acts of gross megalomania. These acts would lead to his assassination in 217 at the age of 29. Before this well-deserved and ignominious death, he made one of the edicts which would have the most impact on the whole Roman world. The Edict of Caracalla, made in 212, was the single greatest grant of citizenship of human history, making all free people within the imperial borders Roman citizens. Overnight, more than 30 million people became Roman, an event which would have great consequences for Occidental history. Which brings us to the end of this video. I hope you found it informative and liked this new format. If you did, let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, happy collecting, and see you soon!